Glad to have you with us here on this special edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming at you on the road as I'm wrapping up my vacation here in Phoenix, but wanted to get you the latest from Seahawks training camp. I got some takeaways that we'll get to with some of the top headlines you need to know coming up in just a matter of moments. Folks, before we get to any of that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today. Doesn't matter if we're in studio, if we're taking PTO days like what I'm doing right here, we got you covered one way or another here on Seahawks Today. For the latest happenings on your favorite team each and every single day throughout the preseason, training camp, regular season, the offseason. There is no offseason here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. If you can subscribe just as a thank you for us bringing us this content here for you on our off day when I'm on the road, that'd certainly go a long ways. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. All right. Let's start at the running back spot with Kenneth Walker III. K9 is stepping up, and I got to say, I was worried about Kenneth Walker III going into training camp because we did not see a ton of him in the offseason program, as although he was in attendance for offseason workouts in minicamp, he didn't do a ton of on-field work because of a ankle injury that Mike McDonald called minor at the time, but one of those deals where, all right, here we go again. What's going on with K9? Another injuries that's going to hold him back. But here we are a month later, back on the field. And from the moment the tempo of practice picked up to full speed, it was evident that he was healthy. And he looked like one of the most explosive players on the field. Now, the real test for the running game is going to be when the pads come on and how Walker looks hitting the hole and accelerating the open field. But it's clear that he is fine, that he's fully ready to go. And Mike McDonald said this on K9. He looks great. He's in a great spot mentally. Just awesome to see him do all the things that we want him to do from the get-go. I know he's really excited about what's going on. Great first day with Ken there earlier this week. And, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think when it comes to the running back situation for Seattle, that it's probably a 1A, 1B situation with Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet. I think you're in good shape with each of them, and that you take advantage of your strength in numbers. And if K9's looking this good, that's a good start where things are at right now. Do you believe in Kenneth Walker III? It's our pinned comment today. You got two options here. Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in the comments section and let us know. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and tell me what you think. All right, number two on our takeaways, let's talk about the interior offensive line, and things are heating up for sure right now with what's happening. Think about this, all right? So you got Jalen Sundell, who got work at both positions in the interior, indicating that he could be battling not only with Olu at center, but also with Anthony Braford, Christian Haynes, and Sataoa Laumea at the guard spot, okay? And so then you start to wonder, okay, well, he's in it, but how in it is he really? Well, then Mike McDonald gave us some intel and said this. Jalen's right there. He just keeps having great days, so I'm excited to see how things shake out. It's going to take time, but it's going to declare itself. I just don't want to put a number on the guys right now. So we look at this situation now. Olu and Jalen battling for the center spot, and then you got Jalen, Braford, Haynes, and Laumea all battling for the guard spot here. As I have stated in the past, and I'll continue to reiterate, I don't care who wins these jobs. I just want the best man to win. I don't have a rooting interest here. I just want somebody to do the job well. And if Jalen Sundell is your best option at center or guard, either one, by all means, go with him, see what you have. At the very least, iron sharpens iron. They're making each other better here. To me, this is all good for Seattle to have this offensive line situation heat up, where maybe somebody like Jalen Sundell, who we didn't expect to step up, is stepping up in this way. So that's very good to see as far as that goes. All right, DeMarcus Lawrence, his 12th year in the National Football League, his first in Seattle, and there's excitement about DeMarcus Lawrence of him bringing his veteran presence. He's coming off that injury last year. What kind of impact can he have here in Seattle, and he had a great offseason. He was one of the highlights for Seattle over the last several weeks. And listen to this, what Mike McDonald had to say on DeMarcus Lawrence. He's like the best drill player I've ever seen in my life. You can ask him to do any drill known to mankind and just trust that he has in why you're doing it. He's 1,000% every rep, the intent in what he's trying to create, and that's the standard he's setting for our front, so the guys don't have a choice but to fall in line. It's just exciting to see him out there working. You know what he can do on the field. The tape speaks for itself, but you understand how it comes to life based on how he works. So a big compliment there for DeMarcus Lawrence. And I love to hear that with DeMarcus Lawrence, that he is putting in the effort, that he is going balls to the walls here in his 12th season, that he's not backing down. And it's twofold, right? You love to see that, and that's a good sign. But then in the back of your mind, I think we can all be honest with ourselves that we can say, oh, I hope he doesn't push it too hard, and that lead to an injury or something of the effect that he wears himself out too much. So maybe a happy medium there. Maybe DeMarcus Lawrence can get a couple extra days off in training camp or something because he looks like he's clearly ready to go. So that's great to see from DeMarcus Lawrence as far as that goes. Meanwhile, the tight end position is heating up after the release of Noah Fant last week. Now you have A.J. Barner, the second-year tight end out of Michigan. You got my guy, the rookie Elijah Arroyo, and then the veteran Eric Saubert, all competing for the tight end position. And in particular, Elijah Arroyo really shined this week. Let's first start with what Mike Mack had to say on the decision to release Noah Fant. We love Noah. We wish him the best, but we also love the guys who are here. They know what's at stake. It's going to be a lot of fun watching the competition in the tight end room. Okay? Pretty vague when it comes to Mike McDonald at that tight end position situation. But then you fast forward to a couple of days later, and we got this update. This is courtesy of Seahawks.com on what Elijah Arroyo did as a playmaker. Well, the Seahawks deciding to move on from starting tight end Noah Fant before the start of camp, there will be more opportunities for tight ends like A.J. Barner, Elijah Arroyo, and Eric Saubert, and all three have made plays in the first 2 days of camp. Arroyo, second-round pick out of Miami, has been particularly impressive in the passing game, hauling in a nice couple of catches, including a sliding grab at the sideline on Wednesday, and a few nice catches on Thursday, one which featured a combination of concentration and good hands as he hauled in a pass that was nearly intercepted by Reek Woolen. I'm telling y'all, get excited, hop on the bandwagon. Elijah Arroyo is going to be that dude, and between what he can do as a pass catcher and A.J. Barner as a blocking tight end, I don't think we're going to see much fall off at all at that tight end position. Seattle's going to be in good shape here. Got a couple more takeaways to get to from training camp in a moment, but want to hear from you guys. What is your biggest takeaway from Seahawks training camp so far? Give me one thing. What is it and why? Weigh in and let me know what you think. All right, let's continue now on the training camp takeaways. And now let's stay on the offense and talk about the offensive progression. So you may recall back in the offseason program, the talk with the offense was, all right, this looks good. This offense looks good. It's coming along, but it's not even close to the level of this defense. And this defense was just owning them. They were making them their daddy, making them their bitch there in the offseason program. But now the offensive progress is starting to be evident. Mike McDonald said the offense is right on schedule, and there was plenty of impressive throws from Sam Darnold to show that progress. McDonald said this, talking about the workouts that have gone on. I guess Darnold organized some workouts with the receivers and the tight ends in Southern California on their own between minicamp and training camp to take that next step. And this is what veterans do. I mean, Patrick Mahomes does this every year with his receivers down in Texas. And so Sam, first-year quarterback, new team and everything, first year with Seattle, rather. That doesn't hold him back from leadership and doing what he needs to do. McDonald said this: "It speaks to the connection. We talk about 12 as one around here, and it isn't like I was going to tell Sam. I was going to Sam, telling him to get the guys together, and that was totally driven by Sam and the rest of the guys. I don't know how many routes they ran or how well it went, but it's just important for them to be together, talk through those things. I think it sets up them to have a better start to camp. That's really important." So good leadership stuff from Sam Darnold. That's what I want to see. Lead by example. What are you doing when nobody's watching? And here they are. They could be enjoying their summer break, and they're putting in the work. They're going down to Cali where they know how to party, but they're not partying. They're going out there and putting in the work to put the best product they can out there, and that's great to see as far as that goes. All right, a couple more takeaways that we will hit on here. Let's talk Jalen Milroe, the third-round pick from Alabama, and he's continued to show progress. We've talked about what he's done from rookie minicamp to OTAs to mandatory minicamp. He's gotten better each and every single outing, and Clint Kubiak spoke glowingly about him. Listen to this from Seahawks.com. "Coaches and teammates have praised the rookie quarterback's work ethic, which no doubt factors into the improvement, and it's also evident that he is likely his own harshest critic. An example of that was on display Thursday when Milroe rolled to his left and delivered a nice pass in the run to fellow rookie Ricky White III, who made a sliding catch near the sideline. It was a good throw on the run, but a slightly better one would have allowed White to keep his feet and gain some yards after the catch. Knowing that, a frustrated Milroe went to the ground and did a few push-ups as punishment." I love that from Jalen Milroe. He holds himself accountable. This is a guy that he's one of the first in the building. They can't get him out there. One of the last to leave. He's doing all the little things right. Now, does that mean he's going to be starting this year? No, probably not. But he's doing everything right, doing what's been asked of him. I've been very impressed with Jalen Milroe. Glad to see that's picked up here in a training camp to this point. All right, one more thing, and then we'll get out of here. Let's talk about Mike McDonald's defense. And one of the themes that we've seen from the defense is swarming to the ball, okay? The ball hawks are coming out. And here's more from Seahawks.com saying this: "Until pads go on next week, the defense can only be so physical, and even then, there won't be live tackling until preseason games. But despite not being able to tackle, the defense is still swarming to the ball quickly, something that really shows up on short passes when, almost without exception, there is one or more defenders right there when the catch is made. A good example of that Thursday came when on a check down to Kenneth Walker III. Julian Love came flying down from his spot at safety for what in a game would have been a big hit, drawing a big reaction from teammates and coaches." Devin Witherspoon saying this on swarming the ball: "It's important to practice how you play." I think we've all heard that from our coaches a few times. "Once you do that over and over again, by the time game day comes, it's easy. We've been doing this for a long time, so just to have to do it consistently over and over again and not get bored with it." So they're swarming the ball. They're making plays. If you're going to be a playmaker, you got to make plays, and these guys know that, and they're putting in the effort, swarming the ball, not taking any plays off. I'm telling y'all, all right? Tell your auntie, tell all of them that this defense is going to be legit. And we know that they have a great defensive mind leading the way in Mike McDonald. One of the best in all of football, if not the very best. And then you factor in the talent that's there, and then the effort that's there as well. This defense, they don't lack effort at all. It's all coming together very nicely, my friends. Appreciate you joining us here on this special edition of Seattle Seahawks Today for continuing Seahawks coverage. I'm back in studio, by the way, on Monday. It's been a nice trip, but looking forward to seeing all of your lovely faces in just a few days from right now. Subscribe now for free. youtube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. Training camp coverage continues here on the channel. We shall see you next time.